I do come from a military family in Sweden. I did, in the early days, I did competition rifle shooting, and I also was interested in, very much so, in the technical part of it. After graduating from high school, I went into the Navy. I stayed there for a couple of years only. I left the Navy and went to study engineering instead.
My father, George Kellgren, he was like any other father, but on the weekends, instead of reading the newspaper or watching TV, he'd go upstairs and do gun design. We kind of grew up with the entire process, if you will, as children, just kind of seeing the design, how he test fire stuff. He used to shoot in the woods out there, test firing pistols with Grendel and then with Kel-Tec later on. So it's been something that I grew up with my whole life.
Growing up, he was always working. So as a child, you don't really see him as he always goes to work, and they would come home and then, oh, Dad's home and all that great stuff. But working with him, you actually get to see what he does and really understand the true genius behind what he does. And getting into conversations with him that are just over my head, I don't even really understand the way he thinks, but it's really, it's impressive, and it's an honor to work with him, to be honest with you.
I ended up down in Miami. This was in 1979, to a licensed manufacturer of a particular firearm. That turned into Intratec after a few years. Shortly after that, I sold out my half and went up to Cocoa, Florida, and started Grendel Incorporated. And then we did the SRT rifle, which was a folding stock rifle on a Seiko A2 action, which that was quite successful. And but unfortunately, Seiko, they stopped making the A2 action about that time too. So shortly after that, I started Kel-Tec in a different location, still in Cocoa though. And we started making the P11 pistol, which was a concealed carry handgun with a 10-round magazine. And that went very well because we were more or less ready to ship, and nobody else was prepared for that. So we actually sold a bunch of those. And that's basically how Kel-Tec started.
What makes Kel-Tec different is that we're less focused on market research and more so focusing on innovative firearms. The Sub 2000 rifle is one of our most popular rifles. It's available in 9mm and 40 caliber. The ingenious design of it is one that it can fold for transportation or for safe storage in general, but also that it's designed to take other popular handgun magazines. Initially designed for Glock 17, Glock 19, which are very popular firearms right now. But at this point, we've also designed it for the Beretta, the SIG, the CZ, the TP9. The list goes on, and it's an affordable rifle, as well as lightweight and just extremely versatile.
You can go get other types of firearms. You have bolt gun, all manner of semi-auto pistols and rifles, and again, they're all sort of competing with each other, but as well as like the family atmosphere here at Kel-Tec, we're very unique in our innovation as well. So the KSG is a perfect example. When we came out with the KSG, we had no idea that anybody was going to want a shotgun that's 2 feet long, essentially, that holds 15 shells. Had no idea. George didn't know. We all thought it was cool. A lot of companies throw things at the wall and hope that they stick, We're no different. As it turns out, we showed the gun at the trade shows, and the rest is history, really. And that's the same with every firearm. And I think at this point, we've started to realize that we've got a great, rabid following, and I use that, in every sense of the word. We've got an awesome following of fans, and so we know now, we've learned over the years that if we come up with a product that we like, they're going to like it as well. Again, it goes back to that family sort of environment. That extends out to our customers as well.
My grandfather, he was an artist. He actually made paintings. My father, he never really, he wasn't an artist in terms of paintings, but what he did with engineering was artistic. New ways to do things, new ways to envision a process that's done. You can take a design and you can build a complicated device of it. Most people can do that. But if you can do it simply and make it machined effectively on a large scale, that's where talent lies. And I think that's where we have a hedge right now with our designs. And also with the folks in the engineering staff on there, as he's teaching and mentoring the process, I think we're building new methods on doing things and new metrics of reliability and machining processes for our designs.
Kel-Tec started with the P11 handgun in 9mm. And after that, we scaled down the P11 handgun to a 32 caliber. The only 32, small 32 you could get was a C-cam, which was a blowback, straight blowback, and quite heavy because it's a blowback, you have to have it heavy. But we went the other route and made a proper locked breech pocket pistol in 32. And I think that is the gun that has made the biggest impact. The locked breech 32 pistol, because you can make it extremely compact and light. And eventually that turned into the P380, and it's copied by everybody.
My favorite gun at this point, I think, would be the, I don't know, I do like the PMR 30, because that was one of the first one that I kind of really took over myself and kind of can call my own project. The design of the PMR 30, the sort of hybrid locking system, was kind of a serendipitous discovery or thought. It was kind of based on an old design that George did. And that one had a fluted chamber in order to deal with the high case friction of the very long and small diameter 22 Magnum case. Well, the thought was, okay, well, we have this case friction that's has the case gripping the barrel. Well, why not, instead of trying to overcome it by reducing the friction, just use that friction and allow the barrel to move with the slide a little bit, just enough so that the pressure reduces and then the case friction is enough to pull out. So that right there, that sort of idea came towards the hybrid system of the PMR 30 and allowed for that barrel to float a little bit, and then it functioned well with all different variations of case pressure and the variations in the friction there.
I think what people need to know about Kel-Tec as a company that they may not already know is that we truly are a family business. It's a small company. This is, we value our employees, we value our customers. We really do try to do the best that we can do.
Nobody else makes this stuff. So there's no fixture you can buy, there's no wrench you can buy to put this part in, that part in. We have to build those things as well. So everything from the physical dimensions of the jigs and stuff that we have to build to produce the parts that we make, all the way to the programming and the machines, so if you build an AR-15, there's a whole bunch of programs you can punch into your CNC machines and have that gun built. Everything we do is from scratch.
We started the ARTV project, and from the beginning we sort of scaling down an RFB instead, but RFB is extremely difficult to manufacture, and so instead of that, it ejects backwards and down, and you can do that because it's a shorter cartridge without it making crazy lengths on the receiver. It's not that much in production yet, but it's getting there. So that's more or less where we are at the moment.
Kel-Tec is growing. It's a growing business. There is no slowdown or slump in our facility here. We have huge expansions planned for us. We have big back orders we're trying aggressively to fill, and it's a process which I'm excited to take on as a production manager to see how we can fill those spaces and reduce that back order as well as have the flexibility to explore new techniques on making new product. It's really an exciting future for us here as we're starting to grow and kind of fill kind of the niche market that we're always known for.